Well, hey guys, how you doing tonight? This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, and we are back with another painting video. So, in front of me, I have an 18-inch wood round that I attempted to do a bloom swipe on. Now, I say attempted because I do not consider this to be a success for a couple reasons. Number one, I really dislike the overall composition. I like the colors that I used. I really dislike the composition. The second and the most egregious error that I made, and I should know better because I've been doing this for a while, is I used a base that had some iridescence to it. Okay, in fact, I used the Liquitex Basics fluid, which is a fairly new product that Michaels has just started carrying. I use this in their iridescent graphite as the base, and I like it because the pigmentation is good. There is somewhat of an astringent odor to it, which if you are sensitive to, chemical smells and stuff like that, just caveat emptor. But anyway, so I used the iridescent graphite as the base, and then I disturbed the base after I was finished. And any disturbances, it shows up. You might be able to see it, here and here and here. So it's just very distracting, and there are too many things going against it. So tonight, instead of doing another bloom swipe, I wanted to try and do a sandwich pour because I have never done one. And, I was looking at my paints and I had this one lone tube. This is Charvin in the Ocean Blue, which is this really nice, deep dark blue, which is transparent. And that is going to be the bread of the sandwich. So I have the Ocean Blue. I even mixed in a little bit of the golden the Amsterdam Indigo, just to kind of deepen it. So that is going to be the bread of the sandwich. And we are just going to put in some colors in between the layers. So the colors we're going to be putting into our cup, aside from the blue, is we have the Copper Gold by Arteza. We have the Iridescent Pearl Fine by Golden. We have the Quinacridone Gold by DecoArt, which I love. We have the Pebeo Iridescent Blue Black. And this is a new color for me. This is Steel Blue by DecoArt Americana Metallic. I was poking around their website, just ordering some things, and, saw these and figured, why not? So I got a couple in the Steel Blue. They've got gunmetal. They have a metallic chocolate brown that I'm excited to give those things a try. So those are going to be the colors that get sandwiched in between our blue. And I am debating whether or not I want to, grenade it or just do a regular flip cup. No, I'm just going to do a regular flip cup, and I probably will end up, lipping it. So going down my base coat, this is just my leftover blues. There's some, there's some gold in here. There are some piggies in here. There's a bunch of stuff in here, but it has a really nice, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's our base coat and it's going to get, you know, tilted off anyway. And I forgot to remove the little handle I have affixed to the wood round. And I also have, you can't really see it, but there's this little tab right here that I stick on the end that is pointed due north, because that way I know the orientation. You know, this way, this is level, okay, on both axes. And so long as I get it back to due north, then I know that my painting is going to be level. All right, so we're just going to spread this out a little bit. Hooray for centrifugal force. Although, knowing me, I will probably end up picking this up and tilting it just to get better coverage. But we'll give it another go. It's so rare I get to put things onto my spinner. So we might as well let the spinner try to earn its keep. Dope. All right. All right, so everything else, you know what, we're just gonna, in the interest of time. So yeah, I've seen several artists do, you know, sandwich pours or, you know, marble pours. And, you know, again, it's not a technique that I've done before. And, you know, even like the flip cups that I do, I have trouble letting go enough to actually wreck any of my pours. Like I've never done a wrecked ring pour. I am just far too type A to let that happen. But you know what? It's the weekend and we're letting our hair down. And because I am using the you know, the ocean blue as the you know, the bread of the sandwich, it's the ocean blue and the indigo are both totally transparent colors. And I want to kind of play around with the transparency a little bit and see how, you know, these other colors are going to show up when they're sandwiched. So let's get to, what do I want to do? Well, we're going to pop some bubbles first. I have to grab my torch. My torch, for whatever reason, was across the room. And again, well, see, I don't even know why I'm popping these, because that's just the base coat, the flow extender. All right, so for an 18-inch wood round, we need, I don't know, 9.5 ounces, we'll say. So we'll probably do, well, no. Oh, I should be pouring this on camera. I'm sorry. I am concentrating. That wasn't very good of me, now was it? So, as you can see, let's try doing this the right way. Silly bear. Helps if you open the bottle. So we're just doing little ribbons of color. All right, I am not overly concerned with getting, you know, the whole top covered. All right, this is the burnt orange. Here is the copper gold. And then lastly, the slate or the steel blue. All right, this by itself is already enough paint, but I do just want to go in and just cover the top of that. All right, so you can see our sandwich layers. Again, my apologies for not doing that on camera. I wasn't thinking. So, let me clear the decks. All right. What's the over-under on how much of this I wear? I should be wearing my apron, but again, it's the weekend. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3. No, not the swiftest of moves, but what are you going to do? All right, well, I can see already that the copper gold is selling up. Oh, that's a lot of paint. All right, and the steel blue is also having a reaction. And there's a ton of air bubbles in here. All right, just giving this a minute to see what develops. And of course, I'm also letting air bubbles come up to the surface so I can pop them. All right. Well, do I want to spin or do I want to tilt? You know what? I want to tilt. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of paint on here. All right. Just seeing where I want to go with this. All right, this big cell down at the bottom here is looking kind of wonky. Well, I was kind of hoping that I would get more of the white, and my Quinacridone gold got completely lost. But I still kind of like it. I'm wondering if I want to tilt it any more. All right. Well, we are going to put him down. You know what? We're going to pick him back up. And we're going to bring this back towards me a little bit. You can see why I put a handle on here. All right. Now we are putting this down. I am going to deglove as carefully as possible. And the first thing I'm going to do is torch, because man, there are a ton of bubbles. Now I'm going to let this sit for a minute, and then I will come back and torch it again. But you know what? I do kind of like this. I like that it is somewhat monochromatic until you actually start examining what you're, examining the piece. There really is some nuance to this. So I am going to take a stick and go around the bottom edge while I bring you in for the look-see. So, meet you down here. Okay, friends. So, there is a lot going on here that I really do like. Initially as I was kind of tilting it out, I thought, wow, this is really kind of one note. But the closer you get to it, look how many, bands there are. I love that there are little pops of this copper gold and the iridescent pearl, okay? But, I was afraid of it being too monochromatic, but as it turns out, it's anything but. And I am super glad that I decided to lip this because it gives it the movement that it needs. I like the fact that this steel blue, okay, I know that that can be a prominent color, and I know that it will have a, reaction, as most metallic paints do. But yeah, I just think this is a really interesting piece. There's a lot going on to it. So yeah, I consider this a victory, and much, much better. I like this much, much better than what was on the wood round before I began. All right, friends. Well, thank you once again for joining me for this painting video. This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, reminding you that if you are new to my channel and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe, hit that like, hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I am uploading new content. Please leave a comment. I do my best to get back to each and every one of you in a timely fashion. This piece and all of my other work is available for purchase. You can find my portfolio online, on my Instagram and my Facebook art pages at Bear's Den Acrylic Art. You can also email me directly at bear@bearsdenacrylicart.com. So I had a lot of fun with this. I'm very glad that it turned out. I'm interested to see how it dries. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you next time. Bye. Okay, friends, here we are a couple days later, and this is all dry. This dried beautifully, I have to say. I am absolutely in love with this piece. The Charvin, ocean blue, even mixed with the, the Amsterdam Indigo to deepen it. It's just this beautiful, beautiful, dark, kind of stormy blue. And, the steel blue, the Pebeo Iridescent Blue Black, it just provides a lot of, visual interest. I'm glad that the copper gold showed up in a couple places. It was kind of bummed the Quinacridone gold from DecoArt Media didn't show up, but what are you going to do? But the, between the copper gold and the iridescent pearl, I think that does a very good job of kind of offsetting the blues. And it's only going to, look better when it is time to varnish this thing. So the only thing I am still on the fence about is, I was looking at this and I was thinking about possibly adding some gold leaf embellishments on this side. Not a lot. I was kind of kicking around the idea of just tracing, some of the lines, just to give it some more texture and, to kind of offset the copper gold on this side. But, you know, still on the fence about that. So you know what? You guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think this needs any embellishing or not? But, you know, overall, this, I think, was an extremely successful sandwich pour. And I am really, really happy that I decided to do it. I think this looks like $1 million.